Hey guys, so today we get to talk about the Court of Oryx, which is a public event style event on the Dreadnought coming in the Taken King. So what is it exactly? Well, it's an area on the Dreadnought ship where you can go instigate your own public events. In order to do that, you go up to these altars here and plant runes in them. There are three types of runes: Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Tier 1 runes go in the first altar to the right if you're facing the altars on the Court of Oryx side. Tier 2 is the one behind it, and Tier 3 is the one behind that one. Tier 1 events are tuned for 190 light, so you'll have the best chance of success if you are around 190 to 200 light. In order to get these Tier 1 and Tier 2 runes, simply patrol the Dreadnought and you have a chance of getting them as drops from things that you go kill and other stuff that you do in the Dreadnought. I think I remember Bungie saying that you can go buy the runes, but they're pretty expensive and aren't really the way you should be getting them. You're not going to be able to stock up on hundreds of runes just from burning a bunch of glimmer or whatever we use to buy them right away. These events feature bosses with a mechanic, most of which are pretty simple to figure out, so let's look at some of the bosses. If you do not want any spoilers of the bosses, I suggest you stop watching right now. We have a boss here named Brachus Haruusk. His main mechanic is that you need to kill all of the other enemies in the area before you can damage him. The white shield around him, and as you'll see on other bosses, means that he's completely immune to damage. This is a pretty simple mechanic. If you die, you have 20 seconds to get back into the arena, otherwise the fight is lost. But, as long as you spawn right away and run into the arena, you will not have much of a problem at all. Once the boss is dead, the chest up top will open, and for Tier 1 stuff, you'll get a couple of blue engrams and a little bit of reputation. Nothing too big. Now you should note that you can't just spam runes by yourself. When you finish an encounter, you'll have Summoner's Exhaustion. So the way it works is, if you're in a group of 3 on patrol, you just rotate in order summoning stuff, which is probably what most people are going to do anyway. This is so you can't just hog the altar to yourself. You should also note that the Court of Oryx area is electrified when not in use, so if you're standing in the area and there is not an event going on, you're going to take some damage, so just something to take note of. Be sure to not just go AFK in the court, otherwise you're going to die. Then we get into some stuff that takes a little bit more coordination. The 3 wizards, Alzak, Gornuk, and Zyrok, must all be killed within a small timing window of each other. If you kill one of them and then don't kill the other 2 fast enough, the first one will respawn, so you need to bring them all down to low health before killing all of them. Krugor is an ogre with an immunity shield. In order to bring down that shield, you must kill Cursed Thrall while Krugor is standing next to one. That's the only thing that will bring down the shield. The shield will stay down for a very short time, and then you'll have to do that over and over in order to kill the boss. There's also Mengur and Kraadug, both with immunity shields. The only way to bring down their shields is to move them close together, so you need to coordinate those players who have aggro to get them to come together so you can damage the bosses. Now, it seemed very much like the Tier 1 encounters were designed around 3 players, so unfortunately, since there were 6 of us, we just ended up completely annihilating every Tier 1 encounter. Tier 2 is when things get pumped up just a little bit. Tier 2 encounters are tuned to 240 light, which is 50 light more than the first tier, so as you'll see in this footage, we get completely annihilated because our gear is only 200 light. However, the upside of this is that I got to figure out the difference in lights required to deal damage. So what I mean by that is, in the game right now, if you're 4 levels or more below your current target, they're just immune to your damage. In the Taken King, if you have 40 or more light less than your target will be immune to your damage. So right now, I'm 200 light shooting at stuff that's 240 light, and I do 0 damage. As soon as I equip some gear to get me to 201 light, I start dealing damage to those targets, so we know that 40 is the magic number. This is also another thing that I wanted to clarify. Our characters are level 40, and the enemies are level 40, yet I could not deal any damage to those targets. The Taken King is making it so that the enemy's level matters less once you're at max level, and what matters is the recommended light level. Enemies that are level 41 or 42 or whatever don't follow the same year 1 rules. Those levels just kind of signify the threat level of the encounter. If you're fighting 41s as a level 40, what matters is your light versus their light, not your level versus their level. I may explain this more in another video, but basically, as soon as you hit level 40, your light is what matters in combat, not level. Anyway, back to the tier 2 stuff. The Tier 2 encounters are activated in the same way as Tier 1s are activated, except you need a different rune to activate the altar, and these runes are a little bit rarer to find. Not only that, but you need to charge them before you can use them in the Court of Oryx. Stolen runes, aka Tier 2 runes, require 3 Tier 1 completions in order to fully charge it so you can do a Tier 2 event. Tier 2 encounters are otherwise unchanged from Tier 1 encounters, except in Tier 2 encounters, you fight 2 encounters at the same time instead of just 1. So those 2 knights that need to be pushed together and the ogre that needs Cursed Thrall explosions to remove its shield, well, that's potentially a fight that you'll have to do for a Tier 2 encounter, both of them at the same time. Any combination of bosses is potentially a Tier 2 encounter. Now, we did not get to complete a Tier 2 encounter for probably obvious reasons, so I do not know the rewards. Tier 2 also seems like it's tuned for around 3 people, but it's just a little bit tougher. Tier 3 was not revealed to us in any way. I was told a couple of things, but I'm not 100% sure if I have my facts right or if I can really even talk about it, so I'm not even going to bother. However, you can assume that it'll be tougher than Tier 2. I'm guessing it'll be tuned for 290 light, but that is just a total guess. Semi-related to the Court of Oryx, or I guess more so the Dreadnought itself, was this chest, which required a key of gnashing teeth. Besides the fact that this chest exists, I don't really know anything else about this chest, but I think it's relatively safe to say that there are going to be plenty of hidden chests like this around the Dreadnought. There's also this stuff called Wormspore, which seems to just be the planetary material for the Dreadnought, but not much else is known. That is the Court of Oryx in a nutshell, really. Note that patrol on the Dreadnought is still a 3-person maximum. The thing I think I'll enjoy most about the Court of Oryx and the Dreadnought in general is that it seems very much like a thing that I can go do with my friends whenever we're just hanging out, but actually might be rewarding and quick. It's one of those things where you can just burn a couple of hours just hanging out. I know that whenever my friends want to go do something chill with a whole bunch of people, we don't actually play Destiny, we switch over to Rocket League. Raids require some paying attention for hard modes, strikes aren't exactly thrilling gameplay-wise, although hopefully that's changing in the Taken King, and PvP can get intense if you run into other full groups depending on skill level. This seems very much like something I can just go play with my buddies and not really have to worry about thinking. We can just go shoot stuff for a couple of hours as long as we have some runes. And, I mean, it's way better than anything on current patrols. And we haven't even gotten to all the secret chests and the secret areas of the Dreadnought. This is just one part of the Dreadnought. So, yeah, looks like patrol mode is finally getting some well-deserved attention and love. But that's all I have for you guys on the Court of Oryx. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.